What is it, Maggie? You just look like the tiniest little old lady cow I ever seen. Did you know that? One night or evening, DJ was like, you want to come over and watch a movie after you get off work?
Oh, you're telling this story? Okay.
Yeah, I'm telling this story. DJ fell in love so fast, she just could not stand it. Like, after that first night when she said, are you ever going to kiss me? I think she fell in love that night. That's what I think. Well, what's up, guys? It's Daniel from Arms Family Homestead, and as you can see, Snowmageddon 2025, the snowpocalypse is all but over. We still have a few little pockets of snow hiding out in the shade, but we're just in this perpetual cycle, this endless loop of freezing and thawing and freezing and thawing. And most of the snow's been gone for a couple days, but you know, when you get up into the 40s during the day and back down into the 20s and the teens at night, everything just thaws, turns into a slush, and refreezes. Thaws, turns into a slush, and refreezes. And I'm not complaining by any means. It's well, I watched it on the wrong screen. I can't tell you what the temperature is right now. I would say it's probably 45 degrees today, 40, something like that. But after being in the teens for a few days, 40, 45 feels pretty good. But it's a muddy mess everywhere. The barn, the pond, the driveway, everything's a muddy mess. But I'm gonna check on the animals this morning and make sure everybody's doing good. Baby goats are all doing fine, or well, they were yesterday evening when I left down here. So we'll check on them again this morning and make sure, but it's just a mess. Kelsey, do you want in there to play with those babies? Is that what you're wanting? Huh? Or y'all want to play with Earl or the baby goats? I mean, Bear. I was looking at Earl. Kelsey, quit chasing the birds. She was not wanting to play with Bear. In fact, she was wanting to come in here and just run circles around birds. One of those mamas is going to get her, Bear. One of those mamas is going to get her. Lambert, how's your babies? Did you guys see Lambert turn her head and look at me when I said her name? She's like, what? Her babies are doing good. I can't keep my dog houses in the right orientation because Pepper, the pig, who's out there snoozing, always comes and flips them over to see what's underneath. And it's usually a baby goat. Hi, Skip. How's your baby? What's up, little dude? Little dudette. Sorry, didn't mean to call you the wrong thing. Larry, top of the morning to you, buddy. What's up, sister? Lambert's baby's over there nursing. There's two over here doing pretty darn good. A couple out there. And two are doing good. Looks so much different without the snow on the ground. Snow's pretty, but I'm glad it doesn't last long for us usually. Good morning, Maggie. I know you don't know this, but Mom's talking to a lady that's got some potential friends for you to have. Mom doesn't like you being alone out here. I know Pepper's a pretty cool girl, but you know, she doesn't speak your language very well, does she? What is it, Maggie? I don't have a bottle for you. Kelsey, really? Hey, Kelsey, knock it off. Pepper, how's life? Life treating you all right? Huh? Watch out for Kelsey. She's coming in hot. Huh? What's the matter? You got some eye boogers going on there, you know that? Just laying out here resting in the sun? Charlie, how you and the boys doing? You like this weather better? That's hard to say. You like this weather better? Ooh. Charlie and the boys. Copper over here, always mad at a tree. All right, I'm gonna go say hi to the donkeys, okay? Did you find some snow to play in, Kelsey? Huh? Donkeys are all out and about. Getting a little bit of sunshine this morning. Need some vitamin D in your life. Hi, Baker. Good morning. Good morning, Baker. You are dirty. DJ and I were talking the other day when we come down here. It's getting harder and harder. You got to really pay attention between Baker and Bree because they're becoming the same size quickly. Yeah, and they look a lot alike, don't you? Baker's still a little smaller, and they have a little different color pattern, but when you're standing in the middle of 5 or 6 donkeys, it's easy to get them confused. And I don't mean to do that, Bree. That's when you get all pushy and kicky, huh? When I call you by the wrong name? Is that what it is? Hey, girls. Farrah, you filthy. Reba, you're filthy too. What? You come over here to give me a sniff? Did I pass the sniff test? You're so dirty. They've just been out here lounging, I think, just rolling in the dirt. Glad that the snow's gone. Reba's chasing Kelsey. Sort of. I don't think she realizes she's nowhere near fast enough. What is it, Maggie? You just look like the tiniest little old lady cow I ever seen. Did you know that? You just look like a tiny little old lady cow. You are a psycho. Did you know that? Huh? You want me to throw you a snowball? Here. Sit. Ready? You missed it. You're not very good at catching them. Hey, wait. Sit, Kelsey. You ready? Oh, you almost had it. Maggie, you want to have a snowball fight? Bonk. You don't move like Kelsey. Don't you be letting Larry push you around out here. He's not as tough as he thinks. Well, animals are all doing well this morning. Everybody's just fine. The weather's beautiful. It's amazing. Other than being a little bit muddy. But I'm going to head over to the merch building with DJ. She's got a few orders to fill for you guys. Do some organization in the shop and just get everything lined up and back in order so we kind of feel like we're working in a organized space. It's still recovering from the Christmas launch a little bit. It's kind of chaos over there for a month or two, but I know I've said it 100 times, but guys, it blows my mind at what you guys have done for us and our family, and with the whole merchandise building and the merchandise and the pecans and the soaps and all the things we do and have done. And I really do truly appreciate you and my wife. That woman has worked her tail off in that, and I was not on board with doing our own merchandise before we started doing it ourselves. It was not something I was interested in, and you guys know the story. You know, she wanted to take it over and do it all ourselves, so we started in the garage with a heat press and started making our own t-shirts, and it just exploded from there, and she has killed it. She's been amazing at the business side of things. I can get out here and talk to the camera, and that's where I'm comfortable. The business side of things is the numbers game and the design and the planning, and gosh, she's so good at it. So that's why we have a big fancy building just for all that stuff now. And I thank you guys, and I thank her so much. So anyways, I'm going to go over and work with her and help her out for a couple hours. And I don't know. I don't think we're going to do any pond building today. I imagine it's too soggy and muddy, but we'll see if they show up. I just love it when my wife orders furniture that comes in a jillion pieces.
You okayed it.
I didn't know what I was okaying.
You had options.
There's a song about that. I think I might need these. I'm just pretending to throw them down. All right, work's done. We got some cleaning done over here. Look at this place. Look at this. Totally different than what it looked like before the Christmas launch. And after the Christmas launch especially. There's so much more room in here now. How come you haven't taken your Christmas tree down?
Not mine.
Not yours. But we didn't put it up. It wasn't even our idea. Anyway, so a couple of weeks ago I mentioned to you guys that we thought about doing a discounted rate on buying cases of pecans. Because as you see, we've got, maybe 50 cases of pecans left. And a case of pecans is 24 1-pound bags. And we talked about doing it at a discounted rate because we don't want to hold pecans over. We want to sell out of fresh pecans and start with a new batch next year. I saw you sit up straight. Didn't like slouching?
Well.
So we want to try to, a lot of you folks want to buy pecans in bulk instead of buying, 1-pound bags. You're asking, how can I buy some of those in bulk and get a better price? And that's what we're going to do. So typically we sell 1-pound bags. We sell these for $17.99, which is a fair price in the market for what they are, the quality of pecans these are. So $17.99 a pound. I had to write some notes down because we did some studying on this. So a full case at $17.99 a pound is $431.76 out the door for you guys if you bought it just standard. What we're going to do, instead of $431 for a case at $17.99 a bag, $17.99 a bag, we're going to drop that to give you $350 for a whole case. I had to switch arms. My arm was getting tired. So that's a savings of $81.76 per case, or we're dropping it from $17.99 a bag to $14.58. I know that's a random number, but $350 shipped to your door for an entire case. So 24 1-pound bags. They'll be on the website when this video is live. Like I said, we've got enough for about 40 or 50 cases like that, so they won't last long, more than likely. It's a pretty dramatic price decrease, really. But we don't want to sell pecans year-round. We want to get you guys the freshest pecans we can. And speaking of that, we will be doing another batch of chocolate-covered pecans. I think we're only, I don't know, I'm not going to quote this, but we're probably only going to do one more batch of chocolate-covered pecans. They haven't even started packaging them yet. It's going to be a few weeks on that. We're probably looking at early February or something. Yeah. And they will be back. I know I've had 100 emails about chocolate covered pecans, especially the white chocolate, and they will be back. But when you guys are seeing this, go check the website, armsfamilyhomestead.com. You can get an entire case at a very reasonable price, really. Next thing that kind of leads into is not fixing mom's hair, but spring launch. We do quarterly launches. We do 4 launches a year with our merch stuff, and then whatever else we come up with. We will be doing goat's milk soap in the spring.
We are.
A lot. And I don't mean like kind of what we did at Christmas. We're going to buy, we have bought a lot. It's a partnership with Simon Says Farms. They're working on all of it, and we're doing 3 different scents, and one of those is very unique. One's very unique to DJ. We haven't got it hammered out for sure yet. But if you know DJ, you know she loves the beach. And so I'll just leave it at that. One scent's going to be unique that you can only buy on our website. You won't be able to get it through Simon Says Farms. And I don't think Aaron's going to drive down this time. No. I think he's going to ship it.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him because he lives in Connecticut. And if you're not familiar with U.S. geography, Connecticut and Oklahoma are not close.
Nowhere near each other.
Most Oklahomans couldn't tell you where Connecticut is, because they don't care where Connecticut is. It's on the East Coast.
Yeah.
It's not Oklahoma. We don't even like Texas, and they're our neighbor. So we will be doing goat's milk soap again. Spring launch for merch stuff. DJ's working on things. We're going to do some fishing shirts, some fishing hats. Houston is really, really wanting to get involved in the merchandise world, and especially in hats. There's a lot of cool hats out there when it comes to fishing and hunting stuff that he really likes, and he kind of wants to do his own brand of merch. And I'm all on board with that. I want him to learn the business side of it, not just have a cool hat. I want him to learn what it takes to go into that, and the design and the business and the money and all of that. So we've got some pretty cool hat and t-shirt designs coming, which when we're talking about t-shirts, we've bought like every brand of t-shirt out there, but we've kind of come across a deal with an American company that's kind of exploding in the market. And I don't want to say too much yet, but we're working on doing some branding partnership. What would you call it? Like wholesale, their stuff wholesale that we can market on our website that makes it unique. Like they're a nationally known brand right now that's exploding on the market, and they're just awesome. It's started out as a small family business, kind of like we did, and they've got their own line of clothing. And if we can make this deal work, we can get their clothing and then brand it with our logo on it, and they're all on board with that. So it's pretty cool stuff. And it's stuff that I like, and pretty much every teen, tween, 20-year-old around Oklahoma is wearing right now. You go to church, you're going to see their brand. Yeah. And pretty much every church in Oklahoma right now. I don't know about across the country.
It's a distinct brand, too.
Yeah.
Like their lines are.
It is. So it's going to be a cool partnership. And I see it kind of like the partnership with the Pecan Farm, where they had a product and we have a customer, and it would just made a good partnership. Same with the goat's milk soap with Aaron. And we can put our logo on any t-shirt on the market. We can buy wholesale from any country in the world and make t-shirts. But this is a cool story and a cool family and a cool concept, and I think it would resonate well with you guys. So we're working on that. But spring launch, we're talking like mid-March, right?
Yes. And I also want to say we're not going to sell. Hold that up. You're cutting off my head.
What? Oh, I'm sorry.
My forehead.
My arm was tired. Here you go.
Yeah. We're not going to sell soap and pecans anymore at the same time of year. At the same time. We're not going to do that because it was a shipping nightmare. Like for us, packing. Let me say packing.
We didn't want everybody to get like soap flavored pecans. So we were packaging soaps in little bags and trying to keep everything separate, and some people still could pick up a whiff of the soap on the pecans. So we're not doing that again. So that's the reason we're trying to get rid of these pecans now, because the soap is going to be the next big thing. Yeah,
and that's why we're doing the soap in the spring. Yeah. It's probably going to be something we do from here on out, soap in spring, pecans in fall.
Right. And it just makes sense. And this is like goat's milk soap from Simon Says Farms. They have a YouTube channel. If you're not familiar with it, go check them out. It's all handmade stuff, and every time you make a purchase from us, it really supports us and them. So it'll work. It's cool. Yep. I take my hoodie off. It's getting hot in here. Can't get her off the table. So the other day, DJ and I were talking. We were telling the story. I don't know which side to be on for you. Yeah. It's not just the right height. But anyways, we were talking, just reminiscing. It was just us, and we were in the car, and we got to talking about how we met and the whole story of how we met. And I don't know that we've ever really told our audience how we started dating.
Just a quick synopsis.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, we talked about it for like 20 minutes, and then the very next day, last night, we were sitting at the dinner table, and it was just Emily was gone. She was at a game. She was at a ball game or something, and she's not playing basketball. We're not just skipping out on her games. She's just keeping books because she's still on the injured list from surgery. But Houston was like, "Hey, how did y'all meet? How did y'all start dating?" And I was like, "That's really weird that he brought that up."
Yeah. He was like, "I've never heard the story."
Never heard the story. So we've kind of briefly told the story probably over time. But when I was in college, DJ's 2 years older than me. Like, cougars are cougars. Anyways, older women are...
Stop, just go.
Anyways, I was in college, and Dusty and I worked together during the summer at the national park. And I think we've told that story a lot. And I didn't really know DJ because she was older than me in school. And I'd already graduated. I knew who she was. She didn't know who I was. I was just the dumb little nerdy kid. And Dusty and I worked together, and we walked in to a restaurant one day where DJ's mom was working. Dusty wanted to go get free lunch, obviously. He was going to have his mom pay for lunch, of course. Mm-hmm. And so we sit down, and I knew Donna, DJ's mom, DJ and Dusty's mom. So we're talking about Dusty from Cross Timbers Bison, if you're not catching on to the story here. But I knew them, but I didn't really know DJ. And Donna, her mom, sit down there as we were eating, and she was like, "When are you going to take my daughter out?" Well, unbeknownst to her, I had always kind of given Dusty a hard time about his sister being hot. You know, like, "Why don't you hook me up with your sister?" And of course, that just made him cringe. So I did it more. And that was kind of the joke between us guys was, well, for me, and Dusty didn't think it was a funny joke, but so I sit down at the table and we're eating, and Donna comes up and she's like, "When are you gonna take my daughter out?" And I was like, I don't know. I mean, what do you say to that? Like, how do you answer that? I was like,
That's what she's good at.
Yeah, that's what she does. I was like, I don't know. Whenever, I guess. And of course, Dusty's like, Mom, shut up. Mom, shut up. And I don't think anything about it. Well, a few days later, Dusty and I went to lunch, and we had to go pick up DJ's car. She was at work at the bank, and we had picked up her car to go drop it off and get an oil change or something. I don't know what it was, but we were dropping it back off to her. So we like pulled in the drive-thru to give you something. I don't even remember what it was. We pulled in the drive-thru, and she answers, "Hey, what's up?" on the little screen about this big, and we kind of chatted while Dusty was sitting there for like 2 seconds. No big deal, When we met for lunch a couple times with Dusty, and then Dusty and I were working one day. We're driving around the park, just doing what two 19, 20-year-old doofuses do when they're working alone, probably just picking our nose and driving around. And Dusty's phone rings, and he's talking, and he gets real quiet on the phone, and he says, "Huh? Yeah, he's here." And then he just hands me the phone and said, "It's for you. It's my sister." And I was like, "What?" Because I didn't have her phone number. Like, that was not even as far as I knew, DJ had a 7-foot, 300-pound boyfriend that would kill me. I'd never asked, So I answered the phone. I'm like, "Hello?" And she says, "Hey, when are you going to take me out sometime?" And I was like, "Hello?" Now, there's a whole other side of this story that I didn't know about. On her end, Mom was still there pressuring.
Yeah, I was over at my mom's house not long after she had seen y'all at the restaurant, and she was like, "You need to call him. You need to call Boone. You need to call Boone." And I was like, "No, I'm not calling him. He's Dusty's age." Because at the time, I didn't even know that he was only 2 years younger than me. I thought he was 4 years younger than me, and which made him Dusty's age, and I was not having that. That was so weird to me. And so I was like, "No, I'm not." And she just like kept on, and like every day she'd say something. And then one day I just happened to be over there, and she's like, "You called him yet?" And I was like, "No, I don't even have his number. I'm not calling him." And she's
I
like,
don't even have his number because he hasn't asked for it.
Yeah. And so she's like basically stalking me in her house, and I just really did it to appease her, to get her off my butt.
We still do that.
Yeah. And so that's when I called Dusty and was like, "Can I talk to Boone?" And I did.
Yeah, she straight up said on the phone, "When are you going to take me out?" And I'm like,
"Well, Mom was standing right here."
Yeah, but I was like, "Dusty's right there. He's right there. Dusty's right there." We didn't have FaceTime back then, But she was like, literally put me on the spot, and I was like, "I don't know."
Whenever.
I didn't say, "I'm doing it on Friday night." I was like, "I don't know," because I was intimidated, scared.
What?
So I didn't know where that was going to go, but somehow we exchanged numbers, and I handed Dusty the phone back, and he probably didn't talk to me for another 20 minutes, if I had to guess. I can't really remember. But a few days later, she calls, and she's like, "Hey, what you doing? You want to come out to Mom's and eat for supper?" And I was like, Sure, I'll come out and eat." This seemed like a safe space to go to. Instead of taking her out on a date the first night, I guess, we just went to Mom's house. Again, her mom was probably going, "Invite Boone over, invite Boone over, invite him over." Boone's a nickname, by the way. Daniel's my real name, Boone's a nickname. So I'm guessing Mom was probably going, "Invite him over to eat." So she did. So I show up to the home of Dusty Baker, because he's still living with his parents, because he's in college. In the summertime, he's living back with Mom. So we're sitting there in the living room just chatting it up, like me and DJ and Mom. And Dusty comes out of the bedroom because he's a napper. He takes a nap. Dusty, I don't know if you guys realize this, but Dusty's a napper. Everyday napper kind of guy. If he sits still for 5 minutes, he's asleep. I think he naps going down the road sometimes. But he walks out of his bedroom, and he gets this look on his face like he just, I don't want to say saw a ghost, but just like, he comes bebopping out, and he just turns and he goes, "What are you doing here?" And that's that. I was there. Like, I don't know. It was fun. It was cool. And then so that was our first, I don't want to call it a date, but first dinner and got to know each other. So then we, had each other's number and we would talk on the phone at night for a while, a week or so. And one night or evening, DJ was like, "You want to come over and watch a movie after you get off work?"
Oh, you're telling this story? Okay.
Yeah, I'm telling this story. She said, "You want to come over and watch a movie after work?" And I was like, Sure. I mean, we haven't, we're just barely acquaintances at this point, I mean, we'd talk on the phone a bunch, but hadn't even gone on a real date. And so I come over and we turn on American Treasure. National Treasure with Nicolas Cage. It was a cool movie. Yeah. And we literally lay on the couch, fully clothed, nothing bad. The entire movie, we lay there cuddling. And it was fun. We watched the whole movie. And the credits come on, and I'm laying there nervous as a cat, and I feel like a cat with a firecracker on my tail, I'm not real sure what the next move is. And I'm like, okay, I think it's time for me to go home, but it's kind of awkward. And she literally looks at me. She looks at me this close and says, "Are you ever going to kiss me?" So you know what I did?
I gotta go.
I kissed her. That was our first kiss. She literally said, "When are you going to take me out sometime? Why don't you come over and eat sometime? Are you ever going to kiss me?" I'm a slow learner. I am a slow learner. And that was in June
it was
of 2005. Okay? When did we get married? May of 2006. Things progressed fast. Let's just say that. DJ fell in love so fast, she just could not stand it. After that first night when she said, "Are you ever going to kiss me?" I think she fell in love that night. That's what I think.
What's happening?
Now, nothing else happened that night, guys. I'm not saying that. But I think she fell in love. And she's been telling me what to do ever since.
Well, you didn't have a mom.
I didn't have a mom. Okay, no, that's fair. So, yeah, that's our story. That's our intro into Daniel and DJ's story. We needed her mom to introduce us, her brother to hate me for it. She didn't really hate me for it. He tried to take credit later. And then had to have DJ lead me by the hand and tell me, "Hey, hello, you're kind of cute. You want to kiss me, right?" I'm like, "Yes."
It wasn't exactly like that.
That's the way she tells the story, I promise.
I did not force you.
There was no forcing. I was just a little nervous, a little scared. I was a young dude, man. I was 2 years younger than this chick, and she was way out of my league. Still is.
Gosh. Zip it.
So, there you go. I just thought I'd tell you guys that story. Made it back to the house. I'm going over and check the pond. I don't think any actual pond building's been done today, but there's an excavator up here by the house. That's not where that goes, Earl. It's a little bit out of place, isn't it, buddy? When we came in a little while ago, they had this up here doing a service on it. I guess it's just a rental. The guys that are building the pond don't actually earn it. They don't own it. They do earn it. They don't own it. But there was a Kirby Smith construction truck up here, or machinery, whatever they're called. Probably doing an oil change, filters and service on it and stuff. So let's go check out the pond. It's a muddy mess. By muddy mess, I mean like it is an absolute mess. This is that thaw and freeze cycle we're going through, and it's probably worse than when we got 2 or 3 inches of rain. Now it did fill up the pond and we had to drain it, but just that water went away quickly. This stuff is just staying wet for days. And it may not look a ton different to you guys, but that's because it's just hard to tell on video. And I know I sound like a broken record saying that. I'm not going to go down in there right now because it is very muddy. I'm going to try to sneak around the top up here where it's a little drier, but they have managed to get most of the muck out of the bottom of the pond before the snow, and it's kind of piled everywhere, laying everywhere. They did a bunch of work back here. I can't remember if you guys have seen that or not. We've done a lot of clearing on the timber on the backside. The mud, I'm telling you, is just, it's just a mess. It would have been really, really nice to get this part of the pond project started back in like August. You know, we drained the pond in July and wanted to let it set for a couple months to dry out. And we didn't get started until late December, and it would have been really, really nice to get started on this a couple months earlier for sure. But winter time is mud season around here, so we're just dealing with it. But either way, they did get a lot of the timber cleaned up back here. We're going to leave a lot of these bigger trees standing. They will be in the pond. It'll go quite a ways up into the timber here, but we wanted it kind of cleaned up. But this pond has always been full of timber and had lots of cover and things in it. So the water line will actually kind of be basically right up in here where they've stopped working right now, somewhere in that general area. It all looks so much different. We don't have lines marked anymore, but we're making progress slowly but surely. Remember when I told you they were digging like a catch basin back here for water coming into the pond? Well, we haven't had rain, but we have had snow that's been melting for days, and that little catch basin did a fantabulous job of catching all the water that's drained out of that ditch coming down into here. That thing is probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet deep, something like that. I mean, there's 2 big mountains of soil that they dug out right there, so that's all water that was stopped from running down the ditch and going into the pond. And you can see, let me get around these trees so we don't have such a glare, but you can see there's a lot of the trees that got pushed over, and I've told you we're going to reuse those for structure in the pond for different places to fish. And I want to leave those root balls and logs and stuff just like that right there. Is very, very good natural bass fishing, bluegill fishing habitat. You got, after all the dirt washes off the roots, you got places for small fish to get in. Bass and bluegill can lay up under logs. Having that hanging out over this drop off into that ditch is just going to be perfect. Even though there's still a giant mountain of soil that needs to be moved here, it's coming along and it's making progress. We're getting there, Earl. We're getting there, buddy. So it is taking a little bit longer than what we hoped or what we anticipated to get this thing done, but it's just so dependent upon the weather. Like right now, they came in, you know, a couple times during the snowstorm and after, and moved some dirt. You can see through here, they use the rippers on the bulldozer to rip all of this up and just move it around. We're trying to get it to dry out so that it's workable. Right now, a lot of that stuff's not even workable. It's just a mess, and we're not drying out nearly as fast as what we would like, but that's part of it. But in other news, today is January 15th, which is officially the last day of deer season in Oklahoma, and we're not deer hunting today. But I would say the 2024 deer season. Earl, come here. Get back on here. I don't want you going to get in the mud. Come on, Earl. Come on. Here. Earl, come on. Get up here. Get up here. Earl, come here. Get up here. That's it. You just stay right here, okay? I don't need you getting all muddy. Anyways, the 2024 deer season was an incredible success for us. I mean, that's probably one of the better deer seasons that we've had, just overall, cumulative. Maybe not killed the biggest bucks, maybe not killed the most, well, might have killed the most deer. Houston, I think, ended up shooting 3 does and a buck on our properties here, and another buck in Arkansas. So, pretty successful deer season, I would say. I didn't harvest anything. I tried once and messed it all up. Look at this guy. He gets stick tight so fast. That's why he stays on the buggy when we're in the woods. Anyways, but the good news is, the good part is there's still a lot of really nice bucks coming in on camera that have made it through the deer season. They were there. There was 2 or 3 there this morning at different spots here and at Mill Creek. And it's encouraging to see those bigger bucks that aren't giants, but they're 2 and 3 year old deer that have a lot of potential to be big bucks in the future. We had 2 really, really nice bucks that Houston and I have watched all through Velvet that were here last year, and they kind of blew up quite a bit this year and got to be pretty nice deer this year, but not big enough that Houston wanted to harvest. He wanted to hold off until next year. One's still coming in almost every day, and we think he's a 13 point. The other is a 10 point that ended up hurting his foot back during the rut, during late rifle season. And we were seeing him quite a bit for a while after rifle season, and he's drifted off somewhere. More than likely, he's just not coming into, a feeder or where a camera's at or something. We'll keep an eye out for him, make sure he's still around. But he's a really nice deer, but he hurt one of his front feet, and not sure what happened or what he did, if it was something in a fight or got hung in a fence or something. But anyways, a lot of good potential for next year's deer season. And Jacoby got to harvest a deer for the first time this year, and that was really, really exciting. And I know he was pumped about it, and his mom was pumped about it, and something we've wanted to do for a while, but just didn't quite feel like he was ready for it. And he definitely was this year for sure. He did good. So a lot of potential for next year. Deer season will be back around before we know it. We're still going to do some duck hunting. I think duck season runs through January 26th here in Oklahoma. I think we'll probably do some hunts over on the Mill Creek Pond. I've put up one of the Tacticam Defend cameras over there, and it's getting quite a few pictures of ducks. Not big numbers, but there's some ducks using it. And I don't know. We'll see. Houston's really, really starting to get into the waterfowl stuff. This is his first year for that. So anyways, a lot of blabbering, a lot of talking today. I'm going to wrap it up and figure out something else. So anyways, guys, remember, do something today to make somebody smile, because you never know. It just might change the world. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. You guys have a great day. And as always, we'll see you on the next video.